Hold up, did he hurt you in sparring? I feel like I seen him say you saw that interview?
Big cap. Big cap.
I know you seen that interview where
I seen it. He said something.
So maybe hurt him like I did before.
Big cap. Big cap. He know what's happening.
Frank Martin has shown so much panic and fright after chancing upon videos of Gervonta Davis' physique. Gervonta Tank Davis probably never thought the upload of his video would be greeted by so many responses and reactions. While
I wasn't surprised. I knew the fight was somebody was getting stopped in the fight. I just didn't know who it would have been, but I knew that somebody was going to get stopped. I did an interview prior.
Fans have very different things to discuss and worry about. His next opponent has become worried about his fitness, hoping it doesn't get any better than this before their fight in 2 months' time. Let's be making his highly anticipated return into the boxing ring in about 2 months after closing a long break that included an arrest after a hit-and-run incident. However, he has made the headlines not necessarily for a boxing reason. The American boxer has been training hard to prepare for his yet-to-be official fight against Frank Martin on June 22nd, which will be 1 year and 2 months after his match against Ryan Garcia last year. Billed as "it doesn't get any better than this," the match was one of the most anticipated fights of 2023. In the bout, Gervonta Davis knocked out Ryan Garcia with a withering body shot in the 7th round of their eagerly awaited summit meeting, delivering a signature performance in the year's most anticipated fight that conferred his status as the face of American boxing. The 28-year-old 3-division champion, nicknamed Tank, sent Garcia to the canvas in the 2nd round before finishing him off in the 7th with a perfect uppercut to the ribs in front of a capacity crowd at the T-Mobile Arena along the Las Vegas Strip. This match, till date, remains Ryan Garcia's only loss, but might become his first if he again loses to Devin Haney on April 20th. After such a long time out, Gervonta Tank Davis is set to make his return to the boxing ring. And his opponent is Frank Martin. It would be a bout where records are sure to be broken. First, because both boxers are undefeated. While Frank Martin would be hoping to get a win that would extend his numbers to 19 wins in as many bouts, the similarly undefeated Gervonta Tank Davis would be looking forward to hitting a milestone of 30 wins in 30 fights after he got his 29th victory against Ryan Garcia.
I thought he was going to be the one stopping, but I honestly felt like it could have been either one of them. It was just who landed the big shot first.
How close are you to a title fight, man? Because your name,
right there, man.
yeah.
Whoever give me the opportunity,
What's more impressive about both fighters also is their knockout record. Although Gervonta Tank Davis sits far above Frank Martin, having only seen out just 2 matches in his career, leaving the judges to hand him his victories. Of his 29 fights, 27 of them are knockout victories, more than 90% of his total fights, while Frank Martin has 12 knockout victories in 18 bouts, about 66% of his total fights. Not only is a belt on the line for the fight, but one of the 2 boxers is also set to see the end of his unbeaten status. While it is unknown who the losing fighter will be, what is certain is that with these huge records in the pockets of both fighters, the world of boxing is in for a great spectacle on the 22nd of June. But even before then, Gervonta Tank Davis had treated the eyes of men with footage of himself looking all ripped and fit for his bout in the next 2 months. The video has suddenly become a talking point among many fans and professionals in the world of boxing. Gervonta Tank Davis's body transformation has seized the eyeballs, and the fans have gone berserk. However, it was the reaction of Frank Martin that struck many the most. With his reaction, it was believed that Martin Frank was expecting to see an out-of-shape Gervonta Davis. However, the fitness level he saw was mind-blowing. While many fans had other things to say, Frank Martin wrote in a comment on X when a fan commented on his post, asking if he had seen Gervonta's shape. He wrote, "Wow, I was never expecting to fight an overweight boxer though. Good for him." While Frank Martin may have summoned courage eventually, it's no doubt that he greeted Gervonta Tank Davis's look with some sort of shock and surprise. However, more comments came from fans who had divided reactions after Boxing Kingdom uploaded the clip and claimed that the 29-year-old boxer was at 4-5% body fat ahead of his rumored fight. They wrote, "Boxing star Gervonta Davis absolutely ripped leading up to his bout against Frank Martin. Estimated between 4-5% body fat. Fans, who also had some jibes in the store, harshly contested the claim. Notably, many bodybuilders keep the fat percentage close to 5 before tournaments and competitions, as muscles, veins, and striations pop out and are prominently visible. But this was not the case this time, so that became a focal point when fans flooded the comment section. One fan observed that Davis was looking huge. They wrote, "Bro looking huge, WTF? Another knockout victory is waiting for you, bro. Just go in there and do your thing." One user debated how one doesn't lose body fat after cutting water. They announced, "Not true, when you cut water weight, your body barely loses fat." Similarly, someone replied, "Not even close to 4-5%. He'd pass out in 2 rounds fighting at that BFP. It is funny how many don't really realize there is something wrong with him this way." A comment guessed the Baltimore native's body fat to be closer to 12%. 4-5% of my foot. The guy I'm seeing here has closer to 12% body fat. Meanwhile, a boxing fan mocked Davis as he declared, "Baby legs, LOL." A fan theorized that Davis was building his body for endurance and preparing for the Frank Martin fight. They said, "He knows he has to box against Frank, so he built his body for endurance. Don't care what anybody says, this is Tank's toughest opponent ever, and he is respecting it as such. This is going to be a great fight." However, someone in the comments threw a jibe at Boxing Kingdom and stated, "These accounts don't know fitness. They see a guy with abs and estimate he's at 4-6% body fat." Another comment also played down Davis's physique as they wrote, "Calling him absolutely ripped is an insane overstatement. He looks okay, LOL. He doesn't even have a six-pack right now either." Lastly, a fan believed they had never seen Davis in such good shape. Gervonta Tank Davis's shape would be a huge matter of concern for Frank Martin after his sloppy performance in his last bout that saw him get a very sneaky win against Artem Harutyunyan. Martin had to go through what he described as an off performance against Harutyunyan, a previously undefeated Olympic bronze medalist from Germany who traveled to the United States for the first time in his professional career and fought aggressively and confidently. Still, with his promoter and stablemate Errol Spence Jr. cheering him on from ringside, Martin won by scores of 114, 113, 115, 112, and 115, 112, and nearly closed the left eye of Harutyunyan as Martin's supreme stamina and relentlessness allowed him to finish strong. "I just knew I wasn't active enough as I normally am. I just think my reaction time just wasn't on point tonight. He definitely was a tough opponent. I wouldn't say that it was too difficult. It was just my reaction time wasn't working like it normally does for me. I couldn't tell, just my timing seemed a little off tonight. He was definitely tough. I hit him with some big shots. He stood up, he bounced around in the ring like a ping pong, but he stood tall. I take my hat off to him because he took some big shots," said Martin, who won his second fight at the Chelsea in 8 months. Harutyunyan led 58-56 on all the judges' scorecards after 6 rounds, but Martin won the last 4 rounds from the judges' perspective to seal the win. After his trainer Derek James told him he needed a stoppage, Martin thundered out of the corner to start the 10th round and appeared to hurt Harutyunyan with a left to the body. With Harutyunyan's left eye closing, Martin again pressed the action in the 12th, chasing him around the ring. Harutyunyan took a knee with 53 seconds left in the fight, the first knockdown of his career, as Martin landed a barrage of rights and lefts. The break did Harutyunyan good, as he was able to recover and dance away from danger to survive Martin's onslaught. "I don't agree. If it's possible, I will fight him again, but if it's not a problem. He's just a fighter. He's not Errol Spence. I'm a big fan of Errol Spence. My plan is to become a world champion, or at least fight for the world title, maybe against Devin Haney or Gervonta Davis. I can go up 1 weight class, it's not a problem for me, but I'm so happy to be here and I want to come back," Harutyunyan said of the decision. On Harutyunyan taking the knee, Martin said, "No, I wasn't surprised. After a while, after I've landed so many body shots, I can get to wearing guys down. I didn't land as many body shots as I normally do, so, he stood in there." Harutyunyan blamed his eye for causing him to take a knee in the final round. "He's a good fighter, but I saw every punch on him. The last one, my eye got hurt very badly, so that was the point where I had to take a few seconds to recover, on the knockdown. I think this round was the only round that decided it and gave it to him," Harutyunyan said.
Left hook is equally as dangerous. He's very good at that. Good body work from who is located.
Speaking of Martin,
straight right hand from Harutyunyan.
American lightweight star is known to be making his comeback after more than a year out of the ring, though an official announcement has not yet been made. Davis won a breakout fight last April when he knocked out Ryan Garcia in their Las Vegas blockbuster. However, he then spent 44 days in prison after violating the terms of a sentence that initially saw him set to avoid being sent to jail. At the start of May, Davis was sentenced over his November 2020 hit-and-run car crash which injured 4 people, or because he accepted a plea deal and pleaded guilty to 4 traffic offenses. Luckily, he avoided a custodial sentence. Tank was instead ordered to fulfill 90 days of home detention, but was sent to prison not even a month later. He was adjudged to have violated the terms of his home detention and was ordered to serve the rest of his 90-day sentence in jail as a result. It was revealed that he violated the terms by trying to serve the home detention order at the Four Seasons Hotel and a $3.4 million penthouse, rather than trainer Calvin Ford's one-bedroom home as the judge had agreed. Upon being released, Davis spoke out on social media several times to express his anger and frustration about the restrictions placed upon him, preventing him from returning to training at times. In February, though, the American took to social media to show that his ankle monitor had been removed. Therefore, he is now free to move on with his next fight and has agreed a deal to face Martin, something he's previously confirmed on social media. Martin will be making a big step up, but some will argue he could be Tank's toughest opponent to date. It was initially reported that this bout was being planned for June 15th, but Tank took to social media again on Wednesday to suggest a slight change of plan. When a fan pointed out that the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, the rumored venue for the bout, was already booked by Megan Thee Stallion for June 15th, Davis replied, "I let Meg do her thing, week after." So it appears June 22nd will be the date for Davis versus Martin. Tank is the WBA world champion and will be staking his belt in the fight. Martin would be looking to end Davis's undefeated status, but it sure won't come so easy, as Davis had come a long way ever since his debut at 18, fighting and defeating various kinds of boxers, the tall, the small, the fast, and even the powerful. Davis made his debut at the age of 18 on February 22, 2013 against DC Williams, who had a professional record of 0 wins and 4 losses, all by stoppage. The fight took place at the DC Armory in Washington on the undercard of the IBF junior welterweight fight between Lamont Peterson and Kendall Holt. Davis won the bout via first-round knockout. By August 2014, Davis had recorded 8 wins and no losses, with all wins coming inside the distance. Davis took the 6-round distance for the first time in October 2014 against veteran 28-year-old German Miraz. Davis knocked Miraz down in rounds 3 and 5 and went on to win a unanimous decision, with all 3 judges scoring the bout 60-52. On February 20th, 2015, at the Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Davis became the first person to stop Israel Suarez, winning in devastating fashion with a first-round knockout. 3 months later, at the Claridge Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Davis scored a technical knockout against Alberto Mora just 1 minute and 14 seconds into the fight. The normally durable Mora was stopped for the first time in his career. Later that year, at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas on Showtime, as part of the Floyd Mayweather versus Andre Berto undercard, Davis defeated Recky Dulé in only 94 seconds.
Here in the 3rd frame. Pressure on Martin. Martin composed under fire.
On his tracks. He's letting them in so easy.
On October 30th, 2015, at the venue at UCF in Orlando, Florida, on Bounce TV, Davis defeated former featherweight world title holder Cristobal Cruz. Still in 2015, at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas on Spike TV, Davis scored a 9th-round KO over Luis Sanchez. On April 1st, 2016, at the DC Armory on Spike TV, Davis defeated Guillermo Avila by KO in the 6th round. 2 months later, at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida, as part of a Premier Boxing Champions card, Davis knocked out Mario Antonio Maxius with his first punch of the fight, which lasted only 41 seconds. His championship dreams started to come to reality when on November 15th, 2016, ESPN announced that Davis would challenge for the IBF super featherweight title against undefeated Jose Pedraza on January 14th, 2017 at the Barclays Center in New York on Showtime. The fight would take place as an undercard fight to the super middleweight world title unification fight between James DeGale and Badou Jack. The IBF granted Pedraza an exemption to fight Davis, as he had a mandatory fight against Liam Walsh looming. Prior to the fight being announced, Mayweather Promotions matchmakers tried to make a deal for Davis to fight title holder Jason Sosa. Davis defeated Pedraza in a 7th-round KO to win the IBF super featherweight title. After the fight, Davis said that he had studied the early career of his promoter and mentor, Floyd Mayweather Jr., in order to stay composed. He said, "I had a lot of experience from the amateur ranks, but I learned how to keep my composure. Floyd told me to stay calm, and I studied Floyd Mayweather videos when he was Pretty Boy. My uppercut was my best shot, and it was landing all night. It felt really good to fight the way I did. I could take it and dish it out." Mayweather Jr. himself enthusiastically branded his protege as the future of boxing. For the fight, Davis earned $75,000 compared to Pedraza, who earned the larger sum of $225,000 in what was his third defense. At the time of stoppage, Davis was ahead 59-55 on all 3 judges' scorecards. Gervonta Davis has displayed so much versatility and excellence in the boxing ring that even when he moved to higher weight classes, the results were still the same: a knockout victory. On December 28, 2019, Davis moved up to the lightweight division for the first time and captured the vacant World Boxing Association regular lightweight title when he defeated former unified featherweight world champion Yuriorkis Gamboa by 12th round technical knockout. Gamboa was ranked 2nd by the World Boxing Association at lightweight at the time. This was the first occasion that Davis had fought past the 9th round. He had dropped Gamboa in the 2nd and 8th rounds and built up a big lead on the judges' scorecards by the time that referee Jack Rice stopped the fight in the final round with scores of 109-98 twice and 109-97, all in favor of the eventual winner. His dominance was reflected in the final CompuBox punch stats, with Davis landing 120 of 321 punches thrown, equal to 37%, while Gamboa landed 78 of 617 thrown, which was equal to 13%. And even when it got tough, Davis still proved himself in the only other match that he had to get to the scorecards before a final decision was made. Davis announced that he would be facing his mandatory challenger, undefeated former WBA interim lightweight champion Rolando Romero, on December 5th at the Staples Center in Los Angeles on Showtime PPV. However, Romero was pulled from the bout due to sexual assault allegations made against him and was subsequently replaced with Isaac Cruz. On the night, Davis went the 12-round distance for the 2nd time in his career. In a very close fight, Davis won via unanimous decision, with the judges' scorecards reading 115-113, 115-113, and 116-112 in his favor. Nevertheless, Cruz was only the 2nd fighter to go the distance with Davis after German Miraz. In his post-fight interview, he explained that he had fought through an injury. "I hurt my left hand in probably the 6th round. It is what it is. That's what comes with the sport. I felt that later in the fight, Cruz was breaking down, but I hurt my hand, so I couldn't get him out of there." Additionally, Davis showed respect toward his opponent Cruz, saying, "A star was born tonight." Easily, like in the fight between Rolly Romero and Isaac Cruz, Gervonta Tank Davis has become a yardstick to measure the abilities of other boxers. Many were able to predict the winner of the bout between Rolly Romero and Isaac Cruz by merely observing how they both performed against Gervonta Tank Davis and picking who performed best as the likely winner. It eventually turned out to be true, and it's the same yardstick many are using as the trolls and shades between Ryan Garcia and Isaac Cruz become more heated. Many have predicted that since Isaac Pitbull Cruz went the full 12 round with Gervonta Davis, it is only expected that he defeats Ryan Garcia like Davis did. However, Gervonta Tank Davis's gaze is fixed on one thing: the defense of his championship against Frank Martin. It's understood that it will share a PPV show with David Benavidez versus Alexander Gvozdyk for the WBC interim light heavyweight belt. Davis, at 29-0, is teased to fight Martin on June 22nd on Amazon Prime Video PPV in Houston, Texas. While he is coming off a year-long break, Many fans will back him to bag a win. Meanwhile, Martin, at 18-0, is also undefeated, but had a dismal performance against Artem Harutyunyan, and so is an underdog in this contest. It remains to be seen how Davis's beefed-up physique will make a difference in the fight. If you enjoyed watching this video, kindly react by clicking the like button below. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications to get alerted when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.